Yeah, good morning, ma'am.
Good morning, ma'am.
This voice is audible, ma'am. Voices?
Yes, ma'am. Your voice is audible.
Yeah, thank you. Can I check? Can you give the permission to share the PPT? So,
2 minutes. Ma'am.
yeah.
Manita ma'am, now we have shared you the host.
Yeah. I'll check it once by sharing the PPT. Is it visible, ma'am? PPT?
No, ma'am.
PPT now.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now I'm closing this. Afterwards, I'll.
No, ma'am. You just check the scroll the slides.
Yeah.
And keep the slide more. First slide.
Yeah, this one.
Not scrolling, ma'am.
It's not scrolling now. This is the first slide.
No, ma'am.
You are not able to see first slide?
No, ma'am.
Can I stop and reshare?
It's network issue. Maybe network issue, ma'am.
My network issue.
Can maybe. Ma'am, share again.
Actually, I'll rejoin once. Now, ma'am,
Yes, ma'am.
can you see first slide?
Yes, ma'am.
Now,
Just you scroll your slides.
now change the slide.
Second one, third one.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's okay. Yeah.
Can you stop?
Yes, ma'am. Vanita ma'am. Hello, Vanita ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Could you make me host so that I will make you co-host, ma'am? So that you can share. So because the valedictory will be continuing after your session.
Yeah. What I need to do?
Just you make me host. That welcome FDP 24. You just make me host.
How to make this? Let me check. Where I have to?
Okay, ma'am. 1 minute.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can I share my PPT to you then?
It's okay, ma'am. Now you can try to share from your end.
Okay, right.
You try to share your PPT from your end.
Yes. Visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Can I stop sharing?
Very warm welcome to sixth day session of Faculty Development Program on Frontiers in Life Sciences and Value-Added Products from Bioresources, conducted by Department of Biotechnology, FLSVAPB, in collaboration with ICAR, Indian Agriculture Research Institute. I welcome you all for the knowledge-seeking session of Faculty Development Program. Now it's time to introduce our today's speaker, Dr. K. Vanitha, Professor and Head of the Department of Pharmaceutics, Vishnu Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Telangana. Dr. Vanitha is a distinguished professor and head of the Department of Pharmaceutics at Vishnu Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. With 2 decades of teaching experience and a decade devoted to research, Dr. Vanitha is a renowned expert in the cultivation of spirulina, optimization, and development of nutraceutical products. She earned her PhD in the year of 2015 from Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Hyderabad, following an MPharm degree from SNDT University, Mumbai. Throughout her illustrious career, Dr. Vanitha has successfully spearheaded projects exceeding 1 crore rupees in funding, sanctioned by prestigious bodies like DST, AICTE, and MHRD. Her outstanding contributions to innovation were recognized with Dr. Abdul Kalam Innovation Award in the year of 2020. Notably, Dr. Vanitha has facilitated the growth of budding entrepreneurs through her MSME business incubator, nurturing 2 successful ventures under her guidance. A prolific author, Dr. Vanitha has published over 35 papers in peer-reviewed journals, with her research attaining an impressive impact factor of 11.2. Additionally, she has authored books in collaboration with esteemed publishers such as Lambert Academic Publishing and Ambedkar University, including 4 book chapters on cyanobacteria published by Elsevier. Dr. Vanitha's expertise extends beyond academia. She has served as the director of Sukrita Organics, contributing to the formulation of spirulina-based biscuits and chickpeas. Recognized for her leadership and dedication, she has been appointed as the Women's Forum Coordinator for the Telangana branch of Association of Pharmaceutical Teachers of India. A sought-after resource person, Dr. Vanitha has shared her knowledge and insights in various capacities, including workshops sponsored by UGC and DSD. Notably, she contributed as a resource person for a hands-on experience program on research advances in microbes and plants organized by VFSTR in collaboration with STI Hub. Dr. Vanitha's multifaceted contributions to academia, research, entrepreneurship, and community development underscored her invaluable impact on the pharmaceutical and scientific landscape in India. podium. Ma'am, forum is all yours. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheikh, for the nice introduction. Thank you very much.
Sheikh.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, respected dignitaries, resource persons, and my dear participants. A very happy morning. So we have come to the end of the session, e-FDP on frontiers in life sciences and value-added products from bioresources, conducted by the Vignans Foundation for Science, Technology and Research in collaboration with Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi. So before starting the session, I would like to thank Chairman of this Vignans Foundation, Professor T. Venkateshwarlu Garu, for providing this platform, for sharing our knowledge, for giving an opportunity. And co-chairman Dr. O.M. Tiwari and my mentor for suggesting my name as a resource person with the eminent personalities from all over the India. So like with in front of them, like my knowledge is very peanut, but thank you very much, sir, for considering me. And coordinator of this workshop, Ms. Dr. Nasni and our team, like for constantly like connecting with us and making all the arrangements. Thank you, one and all. And just I'm starting my session. Yeah. So as per the theme, like where
Ma'am, slide share. Ma'am, slide share.
yeah, I shared my PPT. Just
Keep
it
on
is a
slideshow, ma'am.
slideshow. Okay. Like this? Yeah. Okay. Is it okay, ma'am?
Ma'am,
Ma'am,
shift
once press F5,
Keep
F5, ma'am. Once press F5, so it will come full screen, ma'am.
Yeah, full screen I did. This is full screen.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am.
Okay? Yeah. So, like our topic on e-FDP is the value added products from the bioresources, right? Like nowadays, lot of research is going on, but the problem is still we are suffering with the lot of micronutrient deficiencies. Because of these deficiencies, we are getting lifestyle disorders. Like, and we are putting lot of money for the treatment of these lifestyle disorders. Instead of wasting our time in the hospitals and spending lot of time, why don't we have food, healthy food, fortified food? So to prevent this micronutrient deficiencies. So my topic is the fortification, a key part of the solution to micronutrient deficiencies. This fortified food is nothing but the food what we take, regular food, like staple food we take, rice and wheat. For that food, if you add extra nutrients, that is called as the fortification. Like there is a difference between the fortification and the supplementation. Like if you are not well, if you have some problem, immediately you will have some pills, capsules, multivitamin capsules, pills and injection based on the necessity. But what will happen if you take the pill? Definitely it will give one or the other side effects. So to prevent all this, why don't you take food that has micronutrients? So from that concept, this fortification has come out. So for the food, we are adding essential micronutrients to provide the health benefits. And this enrichment and fortification both are synonyms. Like enrichment is nothing but during the processing of food, some micronutrients will get lost. The lost micronutrients can be added, can be enriched. That process is called as the
Excuse me,
enrichment.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, maybe from your side net is slow. We are unable to see the scrolling of your slides.
I am in the second slide only. Now?
No, ma'am.
I mean, it is not changing, ma'am. It is
Yeah.
not changing to the next slide.
I'm changing here actually. And it is also good here. I will again switch log off and log in.
Yeah, ma'am.
Yeah,
Ma'am, now it's fine. We can see. But once press F5, ma'am, so that we can see full screen, ma'am.
you press F5.
You can see, sir? Sir, ma'am?
Yes, yes.
Yes, it's okay, ma'am?
Press F5.
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 F5. I'm at F5 only. It is in third slide.
On your keyboard, on your keyboard, press F5.
Yeah, I press the F5, ma'am. Now I can see the full screen. Full screen. This is full screen.
Okay, ma'am. It's okay, ma'am. Continue, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Actually, I think the displayed tab is shared from the normal PPT, and you are viewing your full screen PPT. I think so. Once you can close.
Ma'am, can I share my PPT to you? Will you share from your end?
Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Please. I sent a mail.
Did you send, ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. To the FTP that. Yes. Madam, go to fourth slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, fortification versus supplementation. Like I discussed, we take some pills when we are weak, when we are sick. Then instead of that, if we go for the food that is having micronutrient rich, that gives the more benefits. Next. Next, ma'am. Yeah. Like this is the symbol. This is the symbol that is given by the Food Safety and Standards Authority of India for the fortification. Like whenever you see the fortified food that has the label, right? So, like what are the benefits? Why should we go for this fortification? Really, it does not require to alter your eating habits. Like what are the food you are eating that we can continue. And it is very safe and cost effective method. Like when you go for a multivitamin pill, it may take 10 rupees per pill, but the cost may be reduced by using this fortification. And even the color, taste, and order of the food also will not change. And that manufacture, those who are fortifying the food, they did not to spend lot of time and money on the expensive technology. Next. Yeah. So the main focus is like, because like India, like we cannot say it is a rich country and poor country, but most of the people are affecting with this micronutrient deficiencies. Most of the people are dying because of this malnutrition. To address this problem, like it is the need of the hour fortification. Everyone has to focus on this fortification. Everyone has to change their diversity of eating, so that we can prevent this micronutrient deficiency and we can have a healthy India. Next. Like, so like what are the methods are there for this fortification? There are mainly 4 primary ways a person can get micronutrients into their system. Like, one is the dietary diversity, like eating a balanced diet. Like daily we can have an egg, fruit, vegetable, green leaf vegetable, dried fruits. Like, this is not possible for the all income groups. Only few people can afford this dietary diversity. And the other one is the biofortification. So that is genetically modified food. The plants have engineered to have great amount of nutrients. That is called as biofortification. This is the booming technology nowadays. Like, you can see now capsicum, you can see in the yellow color, red color, like that. These are all called as the biofortified foods. Even you might have learned that golden rice has come out, but there is lot of regulations are there to get into the market. So, and once it is regulated and everything, even the cost of the product is also increasing. So again, the same problem, it is not offered by the normal people or the poor people. Supplements, as I said, like vitamin tablets, capsules, we can take, will get the micronutrients. Along with the micronutrients, will have some side effects also. And the best thing is the food fortification, just addition of micronutrients to the food, the staple food that we are consuming. So that is the best way to prevent this micronutrient deficiency. Next. Yeah. Like what are the commodities in India? We can say we, most of the people are largely depend on rice and wheat flour, like milk, fruit juice, salts, oils. Like, you can know that without knowingly or unknowingly, one or the other foods we are taking these fortified foods, but we might not know that word fortified, because we are taking iodized salt. So we are adding the iodine to the salt. That is mandated by in the 1923. So from that time, people are using iodized salt. Like here, the fortificant, like micronutrients, we can add to the rice, we can add iron, folic acid, vitamin B12. For the milk, you can add vitamin A and D, because like when you are adding vitamin A and D, these are the fat soluble vitamins. So when you boil also, that can get absorbed. For the fruit juices, we are adding C, because this is a water soluble vitamin. Salt, we are adding iron and iodine. So simply nowadays we are using only iodized salt. But now that technology has come, that is the double fortification. Even along with the iodine, you can add iron to the salt. So along with other vitamins like vitamin A, B, pyridoxine, this everything can be added to these commodities. Next. So this is the, like, just what I'm saying, that double fortified salt. In this double fortification, along with the iodine, you can add iron. So because like most of the Indian women are deficiency of iron, so that can be prevented, because iron is required very much in the women for their pregnancy, menstruation, during their period, feeding period. So taking those concerns, So the government is coming out with the different technologies so that the staple food we are taking, we should get that sufficient micronutrients. Next. So this is the rice kernel. I will be discussing about this extrusion technology. By using this extrusion technology, we are adding to the rice. This vitamin mix, premix can be added, and this fortified rice kernels can be cooked and eat so that we'll get sufficient micronutrients. Next. So these are the things like we can go for the fortification of rice, salt, oil also can be go refined oil what we are taking. So for that you can add mixing of some micronutrients that are fat soluble. So we have to consider whenever we are going for the oil or juices, when you are going for the oils, you can choose the vitamins that are fat soluble. Like this, you will get the fortified. You can see nowadays like oil packet, you can see enriched of vitamin A and D like that. Next. So this is like iron, folic acid, vitamin B12 are added to the as a premix to the feeder. Like feeder is like you cannot mix as it is because there are some regulatory aspects and how much you are adding is also very important. That is the reason government is coming out that they will assign this work to a milling agency so that they will mix in the proper proportions the premix vitamin mixture to that flow, so that we'll have sufficient micronutrients. Like for everything, we'll have a range. With above the range, if we use anything, then we'll get the side effects. Next. This is the milk. This is the simplest. Like we have liquid milk, and also for the dried milk is also available. For the both milk, you can add this. Fortification can be added, micronutrients can be added. But in the case of this liquid, so what we need to do is like before pasteurization, you have to add these micronutrients so that there will be proper distribution of nutrients in the milk powder. Next. So this is the food safety and standards. They have come with the regulations, especially for the fortification of foods in 2018. So as per the standard, at this period only, they have come with this logo and standards. They have given some general obligations. Next. Yeah. What are this is? Like just now I said, iron is very essential. So everyone should have iron. So it is used as a source of nutrient. Heme iron shall not be used in any form because heme iron is available from the non-veg, like from the meat. So that never be used as per the fortification. Only iron as a ferrous sulfate can be used. That regulation has come from the FSSAI. So as per the schedule, the micronutrients quantity and everything they mentioned in the schedule 1, as per the schedule we need to follow. And high fat sugar salt. So in this high fat sugar salt, the fortification should be excluded. We are not supposed to do fortification in this high fat sugar salt. Next, like RDA. RDA is the recommended dairy allowance. So we have to look for this recommended daily allowance also whenever we are going for the fortification. So just simply we are discussing about like why we should go for the fortification. What is the need? Because in the worldwide, 2 billion people are affected by hidden hunger. Hidden hunger is nothing but like if you are feeling hungry, just simply if you are eating a pizza, burger, it may fill your stomach, but that micronutrient deficiency may be there. That we call it as hidden hunger. Next. Like the kids and everyone nowadays, they are going after the junk food. With that food, simply they are filling their stomach with lots of carbohydrates and fats. But the micronutrient, because of that reason only, this micronutrient deficiency is prevailing, and the people are affecting with this lifestyle disorders like blood pressure, sugar, and everything. In India, as per IAM-SAM, IAM-SAM is the intergovernmental institutions for the use of microalgae spirulina against malnutrition. So, as per IAM-SAM, every day around 40,000 people die because of this malnutrition and related diseases across the world. See, you can see these, like we need to focus, like we can afford diversity in dietary, but those people cannot afford. So we can seek some measures. We have to think of developing some technology so that so every person will get micronutrient rich food. Next. Yeah, this is the hidden hunger, like just now I said, like we are filling with the stomach with the bread butter, but we are not having sufficient micronutrients. So one third of the death of the children under 5 years of age is associated with the like once the people, the kids, like everyone is like fond of junk food. That is the main reason. Once the people will get matured, they'll think of these micronutrients and vitamins and everything. Next. But the once our health is not protected, then like we cannot get rid of these lifestyle disorders. So this deficiency is the greatest challenge in the 21st century worldwide. You can imagine more than 60% healthcare costs and disabilities are due to lifestyle disorders. Like you can see software people and everyone, they are running after their work. They are spending a lot of time in front of computers and everything. But at the end, they are affecting with these lifestyle disorders. And whatever the end, everything they are spending for their health. So it is getting balanced. So instead of that, if they focus on these micronutrient deficiencies, and we can get rid of like this micronutrient deficiency is not only in the industrialized countries like US and Europe, but it is prevailing in the India and China also. So we have to compress the disability period. It is the greatest public health challenge in the 21st century. Next. So why do we require these vitamins and minerals? They require it very small amounts. They cannot be produced by the body. They have to come from our food. That is the very, very important thing. So these micronutrients are required for your good health, brain growth, healthy babies and everything, strengthening of your immune system, aging and everything. Next. So for all these problems, there is only one solution, is the food fortification. Probably no other technology is available today to serve the opportunity uh, for the large people, for the large populations. Like if you come with the technology, you have to supply it to the all over the India. That should be very simple and economic way. That is the only solution, is the food fortification. Next. Yeah. So now 3 types of food fortifications are in place, like conventional fortification, home, and biofortification. In the case of conventional fortification, you can see staple food, dairy, spreads, and condiments like sugar, salt, whatever we use. So simply we are adding some nutrient mixing for that. Okay. Home food nowadays, mothers, you can see mothers give their babies as a almond paste, almond powders. That is called as the home fortification. That is not affordable to everyone. And just biofortification is the genetic engineering, genetic modified foods. That is the biofortification. Next. So, like, even though, like, we can sometimes we cannot go for this conventional fortification, like most of the research is going on this biofortification. This is an emerging technology for the genetic modification in the plants. Like, more science is required, and like lot of regulations are there, and you cannot assure the safety and effectiveness of this biofortified foods. And acceptability is also very less. They're like, people, once it is in the market, they will not accept as easily as the conventional food. Next. Yeah. So these are the things they are identified for the biofortification, like orange sweet potatoes, golden rice, orange maize, bananas, pearl millet. So these are the things they identified. They enriched with these following nutrients like beta carotene, vitamin, iron, and zinc. Because of these regulations and other things, only few are there in the market, but still research is going on to get into the market. Next. Yeah. Yeah, it has very successful track record. Fortification is not the yesterday's or today's business. It has started in the 1923. So in Switzerland and US, they made it mandatory iodization of salt in 1923. You imagine. Now it is available in most of the countries. Otherwise, what happens? People are suffering with different diseases, right? In 1933, they made mandatory iodization of flour with vitamin in Canada. In 1941, they made like, until unless the government authorities are made mandatory, people are not following. People are not following. So if they made mandatory, like it is the other products are not available, and people are consuming it, and they're getting benefit for that. In 1941, they made it mandatory in the US. Like in 1954, 74, some work has done. In 1998, the folic acid fortification mandated in the US. Like in 2000, vitamin D fortification in the milk and dairy products in the US. See, you can see like everyone is suffering with the vitamin D and B12 deficiency. Even the diagnostic centers also giving a challenge. If we go for the blood testing, if you find your sample is good, you do not have deficiency of vitamin D and B12, they are ready to return the money. Like that, they are throwing a challenge. You can imagine everyone is suffering vitamin D and B12, but only one thing is, because most of the jobs are like, we are sitting inside the cabin, we are not exposing the sun. Not only that one, and even the street vendors are suffering with the vitamin D deficiency. Why it is so? Because they are exposing to the sunlight throughout the day. But the thing is absorption. Whatever the vitamin it is absorbed, it is not getting absorbed into their body system. So that is the reason, like, suffering with this vitamin D deficiency. Next. Yeah. So, like, first innovation drive and the staple food fortification, like rice and sugar, they made it. Rice is that they have come with the brand Nutri Rice. Nutri Rice, in that what they did is they prepared rice kernels, concentrated vitamin and mineral rice mix that mixed. Like, I'll explain this in this our exclusion technology. And in the case of sugar fortifications, the 50,000 international units of vitamin to this uh, 650,000 international units of vitamin in the sugar as a vitamin A. It is attached to the surface of the sugar crystals. So just as I said, vitamin is a fat soluble vitamin. Then with the tea, coffee, whoever is shaking this fortified sugar, they'll get the benefit. Next. Yeah. So just discussing about this Nutri-Nice. So in this, what has happened? In the natural rice, they are encapsulating vitamin A via exclusion process. We have two types of exclusion process: hot exclusion and cold exclusion. It tastes and cooks similar to the ordinary rice, but it has added micronutrients. That's it. That is the reason. Like whatever the rice we are getting from the field, that is different from this nutri rice. This is the fortified rice. So in this, we have nutrients like vitamin A, B1, B12, B niacin and iron. So all the vitamin mix, they are added to this rice flour by a technology and they are supplying it to us. Next. So nutrient premixes, like we have different things are there. One is the premix. Just simply we can add this premix to the particles by the distribution, by the blending. But the thing is like when we add this premix, the it cannot be washed off. Before cooking, it cannot be washed off. But our Indian people will not accept that. They will never, they'll wash the rice until all water soluble vitamins will get washed off. After washing off, only that fiber they will eat. That is the mindset of our Indian people. So that is the reason premix is not working out in India. So, so these can be supplied like fat soluble and water soluble vitamins also supplied in the form of premix. Next. So especially I'm discussing about only rice, because in the South region, you can see most of the consumption pattern, if you take rice is the mostly consumed. And when you trade pattern also, when you see, so least developed countries, they import rice from the average food importing countries. Because of the cost is also less compared to other commodities. That is the reason when you take both consumption and trade patterns, rice is the well-targeted vehicle to reduce this vitamin and mineral deficiency. Next. Yeah. Just now I'm saying this, like we have some older technologies are available for this rice fortification. This is the dusting with the powder premix. Vitamins and minerals, they are applied to these rice kernels. So that can be removed by washing and cooking. So we have to keep a label clearly that not to rinse the rice before cooking. So if you wash the rice, then everything will get lost. Then there is no effective data. Okay. So this is the like very old method, dusting with the powdered premix. So this dusting is not recommended because of our habit of washing the rice before cooking. Next. Yeah. Like another, like you might have heard that like your grandparents, they used to have this boiled rice. So that is called as paraboiling. So what happens when you go for this boiling of rice? So this bran, this outer layer contains vitamins and the trace minerals. When you boil it, the contents from the bran are that immigrated to this endosperm. They get uh, they get migrated to this endosperm. So vitamin and mineral content in the endosperm will increases to 3 times. So that is the reason whenever the grandparents or whenever that time when they ate this paraboiled rice, they looks very strong compared to the now generation, because like we are removing the bran that contains vitamins and minerals, and just simply we are eating the endosperm that contains carbohydrates and proteins. So that is the thing. So, but in this paraboiling, so you will have sufficient vitamins and minerals, but it will be lack of iron and zinc. So for this, if you add iron and zinc, then it is a complete fortified meal. Next. Yeah, this is called as coating. Coating is like that. Instead of going for the fortification of whole rice, so we can give the coating to this rice kernels with the rice, water resistant edible coatings. Then we can mix this rice kernels to the normal rice in the ratio of 1:50 and 1:100. There is also one drawback is there, because in this coating process it Hello.
Participants, please keep mute.
Hello. Yeah, this is the one of the drawback is these rice kernels. It doesn't look like a normal rice kernels. Then what happens? People will think this is the adulterated and it can be removed. Until we give the sufficient knowledge to the people, they'll not accept this process also. But this is very reliable and this is very cheap compared to the other methods. Next. So this is called as the exclusion methods. So like just now I said, exclusion methods that can be added in the ratio of 1:50 to 1:200 to the rice kernels. So we have two types, hot exclusion and cold exclusion. This is also called as shape forming and cooking exclusion. Next, like how it will work. Next. Yeah. Yeah, in this hot excretion, what happens, especially China and Philippines that are using this technology. So normal rice, first they make it as a rice flour. To this rice flour, they are adding premix and emulsifiers and other additives they are added. So they prepared it as a dough, like chapati dough, they prepared, and they extrude through the tin skewer. So it will come out as a rice-shaped structures. So the temperature is at the 80 to 120. So you can say that whatever the rice kernels we are getting, these are the pre-cooked rice kernels. But the appearance is similar to the rice kernels, but they are little pre-cooked. So you can say that compared to the normal rice, the stability is less. But in China and Philippines, they are using this type of technology to get the benefit of everyone. Next. Yeah, this is the thing, like rice flour, premix and additives, they go for the conditioning, the formation, stabilizing, drying. Whatever you get this fortified rice kernels. Next. Yeah, it's like you might have know that pasta preparation. See, this cold exclusion is similar to the manufacturing of pasta excluded. So here we'll not use temperature, high temperature. Only we use low temperature. Thermal energy is not required, and they are uncooked back. So but they can easily differentiate from the regular rice kernels. That is the only disadvantage. But the other thing is like it is good compared to this hot exclusion. So just simply for the pasta press, you can add rice flour, fortified, mix and the water. You make it as a dough and you press through the pasta press, you will get the rice kernels. Next. So we use some cross-linking agents to retain the shape. So this is the Italgi pasta machine. By using this machine, you can prepare this cold extrusion rice kernel formation. Only limited heating is required. So which does not result in the starch gelatination because we use some starch and binders so that you will get the rice kernels in the proper shape. But definitely the structure is different from the normal rice kernels. That is the only drawback for this cold extrusion technology. But but we implement in the villages this technology. When we give it this machine, when we get set up in one village, one house, people will go for it. People can prepare themselves and they can consume the food in their village and they can make their village as a healthy village. Next. So just now we are discussing. So like every technology has one of the other advantages and disadvantages, but depending upon our requirement. So what is our requirement? What is the community we are going to supply? If it is the educated community, they can understand like whatever you supply, they'll accept. But we are supplying to the rural community, then we have to think of about all this acceptance level, right? Dusting technology is inappropriate for especially for the rice. So we have hot exclusion and the cold exclusion technology. So if you are not concerned about this rice kernel structure, then go for the cold exclusion. You are more concerned about this rice kernel structure, we can go for this hot exclusion technology. Even we have some coatings also available. Next. So, like we are saying about this fortification, whatever the premix using, you should have the same formula. No, we should have a multiple micronutrient formula. Like one village may be suffering with the B12 deficiency, iron deficiency. Other village may be suffering with the vitamin B1 deficiency, vitamin A deficiency, like that. So you should have some multiple micronutrient formulas. So based on the requirement, you can use these formulas for the proper village. Like this is the one formula for the rice fortification. We use vitamin A and D, B1, B12, zinc, iron, and selenium. This is one formula. Next. So, like with the present United Nations World Food Program, it is the world's largest humanitarian agency fighting hunger. This World Food Program, even it is working in India for the few villages, and they become very successful and treating the malnutrition. Next. So what are the obligations? Yeah, whenever you are preparing this fortified food, certification from the food laboratory should be compliance with the FSSAI. Without that, we cannot use it. So what are the equipment you are using for the process we are using? We should have a regular audit. So like pharmaceutical industry out there do, same thing we can do for this fortified food industry also. Random testing, like undertaking also shall be given twice a year. Up to date record keeping an inventory of fortificants. Like these are the quality assurance for these fortified foods. Next. Yeah. Packaging and labeling requirements. So, like whenever a food is fortified, the label should contain what is the fortificant added and what is the effect and shelf life of such product also. Like if the conventional food may have the shelf life of 3 years, but the fortified foods may have the shelf life of 1 to 1.5 years. That should be mentioned on the product. So that should have a logo, that what is shown in the previous slide. Name of the fortificant should be there. And also there is a tagline for the food fortification. Sampurn Poshan Swachhata Jeevan. So they mentioned one tagline as per that FSSAI. That should also be there. So especially for the iron, like we are talking about more about this iron content, that has some statement like people with thalassemia may take under medical supervision, and person with sickle anemia are not advised to take iron fortified food products. Do you know what happens when this sickle cell anemia people will take these iron supplements? It may causes organ failure. So that is the reason they are not supposed to take these iron supplements. So these are all for this FSSAI regulations 2011. Next. Yeah. So just now I'm saying double fortification, but now it is not available now in the market, but we are going to get soon. This is the double fortification. We are fortifying the salt with the iodine as well as iron. So a source of nutrient is the potassium iodide. You can use ferrous sulfate or ferrous fumarate. So the parts also they mentioned 15 to 30 parts per million on dry basis. In the case of iron, 850 to 1100. Next. Yeah, this is the oil. Oil, we say that oil is fortified with the vitamin A and D. So this is the level of the nutrients. Like if you are going for the fortification, you cannot go beyond these levels. As per the FSSAI, what is the mentioned, we should use only that much amount. So we can use for the vitamin A retinyl acetate or retinyl palmitate, for the vitamin D folic acid. Next. Yeah, milk is also can be fortified with vitamin A and D. Level of nutrient is 270 to 450 or 5 to 7.5 mg. So especially like we discussed about these things, the process will change when you go for the liquid milk or the dry milk. So and this when you are going for this fortification of milk, like you cannot do on yourself, right? You cannot do on yourself, like that can be done under the government agencies only. Next. Hello, ma'am.
Hello,
Yes, sir.
ma'am. Ma'am, his
Yes.
power is gone, I think, ma'am. Can you continue, ma'am?
Yeah, sure.
Uh, you can share your slide, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Please continue from this, ma'am. No problem.
Okay. This is completed. Did you share? No, I'll share.
Yeah, please share, ma'am. And no problem, ma'am. You can go ahead with the presentation. No problem.
I can go ahead with. Yeah, milk. Especially we are discussing. Sir, can you hear me? Hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Well and good, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, please continue, ma'am.
Yeah. Yeah, we are discussing about the fortification of milk, right? Vitamin A and D, and it should be whenever we fortify the milk powder, they should have a recommendation. They should have a labeling that we are not supposed to use for the direct consumption. Only the government funding program can be at this fortification of milk. Okay, and it can be used only after the reconstitution. You cannot consume as it is. And the once the pack is opened to be consumed on the same day. So, like you should be very careful when you go for this fortification of milk compared to others, because as a liquid we should be very careful. So for the atta, so these are the nutrients we can use: vitamin B12, folic acid, iron. So this is the level of fortification per kg as per the FSSI. So this is the thing, like so fortified with the micronutrients combinations we can use. These are the cereal products we can use for the pulses, cereals, pasta, noodles. We can have this iron, folic acid, and vitamin B. So this is the nutrient source for the cereals. So like why like we might be knowing that because the uh, poor poverty people or the village people should know the importance of these micronutrients. Why should we take these micronutrients and vitamins? So like they should know vitamin A, it helps the against the night blindness. D for the growth of bones and everything. Iron, it fights the anemia. So we should create the awareness about the importance of these micronutrients. So just I have come out with one food program. This is the voluntarily they are working to prevent the malnutrition in throughout the world. They have worked with Odisha in India. one of the village that is called as the Gajapati. It is the remote rural district in the Odisha. So half of the population are tribal community. The literacy rate is also very less compared to the average. What is the average? So if they have taken this village as the model village and the World Food Program worked there. So they have studied the baseline study and like they found that how many students are there under are standard and they are under low weight. So overall 63% boys and 68% were affected by anemia because of hunger prevalence, because they do not have they do not have food, so they are not taking any micronutrients. Because of this reason you can find this more than 50% like people are affected with. Half of the children are fallen ill, are not attending the schools regularly. Even you can imagine that 61% of teachers are aware of this micronutrient malnutrition. Teachers doesn't know about this malnutrition and micronutrient deficiency and everything. So they adopted this village Gajapati and they started working that. Along with that World Food Program, the Department of School and Mass Education DSNME of the government Odisha, this also taken an initiative through enhancing its midday meal scheme in the Gajapati. Like midday meal scheme is available now in the southern states like Telangana and Andhra Pradesh also it is available. But the thing is, people are not getting proper food that contains micronutrients. So they have conducted this pilot plant study in this Gajapati because they found high level of anemia in the school children. So the main objective is like within 2 years, they would like to reduce the malnutrition by 5%. So in this, what they supplied is the rice, under this midday meal scheme, what they did is, so like whatever the food they are preparing, they should be accredited by the NABL, National Accreditation Board laboratories to check the quality of the both cooked and cooked rice. So what they did is they engaged a rice mill. They engaged the rice mill. They had given training to that workers for the milling and blending and addition of these micronutrients to that. So they prepared these fortified kernels and they are added in the ratio of 1:100 to the ordinary rice that is supplied by the government of Odisha. So they prepared the fortified kernels. They are adding to the normal rice in the ratio of 1:100. After that, they are sending this rice to the NABL for the laboratory testing. After getting certified with this NABL, they supplied to the schools. So they supplied under the midday meal scheme. So you can imagine 1,01,757 school children across 1449 schools in the Gajapati being served this under this midday meal scheme. So 1942 metric tons of fortified rice has been produced and distributed to the local schools. The best thing they have done is they engaged one rice mill and they given proper training for the protocols as per the quality they maintain and supply. So this midday meal scheme, like after implementing this midday meal scheme, even the school attendance is also very much increased. Students start coming to the school because of they are getting good food, and when they are taking good food, they are able to work. So that is the reason their attendance is also very much increased. So this is the world's largest school feeding program. Midday meal scheme is. It is reaching about 12 crores children in over 12 lakh schools across the country. So you can imagine, like every school, every government or aided schools are supplying with this midday meal scheme. So they are supplying 450 calories and 12 grams of proteins for the lower primary school children and 700 calories and 20 grams of proteins for the upper school children. So only the one and only aim is to address the malnutrition in the school children because they are youth. The next generation is when they are healthy, our India can grow. So with that concept, particularly for the poor families to send their children to the schools and being educated, they are supplying this midday meal scheme. So you just know I said vitamin A and D can be fortified in the milk. So just simply mixing and blending, oils can also be fortified. Liquid milk is also fortified. Like just now we are discussing, there is fortification can be done for the liquid as well as the solid milk powder. So in the iron fortification of non-fat dry milk, ferrous sulfate at the level of 10 ppm was found to be stable for the period of 12 months. Like we cannot go behind the 10 ppm, then you found that the milk powder can change its color, because iron immediately changes its color when it is not stable. So you can say, like you can cheese with iodine, iodized salt, margarine. Margarine can be used in the civilized countries like USA. They are using margarine with vitamin A and D. There are some products that are fortified. Yeah.
Vanita ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, could you please share from your end, because here the power connection was there, not there.
I'm sharing.
Madam is sharing, ma'am. Madam is sharing, and it's madam is taking care. Yeah,
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Vitamin A is also like tea. Like in the India, you can see like everyone take tea twice a day. So if you supply in the tea powder sufficient amount of vitamin A, then you can prevent the blindness. You can prevent this the problems related to the eye. So that is the reason they are using this vitamin A palmitate dry mixing with the tea dust. The only thing is when we go for the fortification, the cost of the product increases, and again the problem is the normal people will they are not opting for it. Fruit juices also we can use. Like the thing is, you have to be more concerned about what type of minerals we are adding and what type of vitamins we are adding. Fruit juices especially, we can go for the vitamin C. The stability is also very important. So, like what happened, there was a debate, folic acid fortification in the UK. So, like the Food Standards Agency Scientific Advisory Committee on Nutrition, they published a report on folate and disease prevention. Like Food Standards Agency, they have launched a consultations like how can we increase the folate intake in the population. So what are the different options? They have given 4 options. Like option folate content can be increased, especially for the pregnant women. Otherwise, the birth of the child with abnormalities. Again, it is the problem. So that is the reason we should have a good healthy babies. So how can we increase that folate intake? They have given 4 options. Option one is continue with the current policy of advice to women and folic acid supplementation in pregnancy. Supplementation, there is one option we know, but we are coming with the fortification because we want to reduce the side effects of the supplementation. That is the option one is supplementation, folic acid supplementation, and option 2 is change the diet to consume more amount of folate rich foods. So women has to change their diet to can have more folate rich foods. But that is also like cost effective. They cannot go for it. Option 3 is encourage industry to fortify more foods with folic acid and voluntary basis. They're asking industry people. It's like they can voluntarily, they can manufacture more folate foods, fortified foods. They're asking. So that also doesn't work. And option 4 is because industries, they look for the profits, right? So option 4 is they recommend the mandatory fortification of bread or flour with folic acid. Mandatory, compulsory. Like they are taking bread, the bread should contain the folic acid. Flour should contain the folic acid. They made it mandatory and that worked well following the consultation, recommended the mandatory fortification of bread and flour with the folic acid. With that, most of the women, they prevented this micronutrient deficiencies, especially folic acid deficiency. So they made a debate, like sometimes when they are implementing a new technology or anything, we have to take the consent from the people. Like if I ask you, then only you will understand the importance, and then you will agree for that proposal. So other initiative is called as the micronutrient initiative, MI. This is also working on food fortifications. So like in India in 2013, MI and the Indian Flour Fortification Network, FFI. So MI along with this FFI, they expanded from 2 to 9 Indian states with like they are working how to go for the fortification, how to prevent this micronutrient deficiencies. Even African region also they supported, they organized some workshops, and like for the different countries they work. Nepal is also it's working, with that working, like almost 70% of the rural mills have joined mandatory flour fortifications. So when we go for the Cheki atta mill, immediately they will add that premix powder to that and they will give it to us. So they made it mandatory. The mill people who are working, they will be supplied with these premix packets. So they will add. So knowingly or unknowingly, we are taking this micronutrient rich food so that we can improve our health and helping our next generation. That is the most important thing. Our next generation should be healthy. Then only we can survive. So this is the current status of food fortification: processed foods, fruit juices, soft drinks, noodles, biscuits, milk powders, vitamins. This is everywhere we can add micronutrients and vitamins. So these are some examples. Ashirwad, soya milk, omega. They are available in the stores. So whatever it is, like government is taking some initiatives, micronutrient initiatives they are taking, FSSA are taking some measures, but without creating awareness, it won't work. We have to create the awareness. We have to create the awareness that when you take the fortified food, what are the benefits they are going to get for the improvement. Yes.
Ma'am?
Yes, sir.
Sorry to interrupt, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
Ma'am, actually, ma'am, the tab that you have shared, that PPT slides are not changing. But in the tab where you can see that PPT is changing, I think. So can you check once, ma'am? Can you share the other tab where you can see the full screen? Because we can see fortified milk powder labeling. Now we can see future trends of food fortification.
Oh.
If that is the current slide, ma'am.
No. Future.
Now.
This one's are future challenges.
Future challenges.
Yeah.
Now we can see future challenges of food fortification, ma'am.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. So whenever you are changing, for us it is not changing. So that is why we are having some confusion.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. No problem. Please
sorry
continue.
for that.
No problem. No issues, ma'am. Please continue. Thank you.
Yeah, future challenges like create the awareness about the benefit of food fortification, and so I have another 15 minutes, sir. Government, okay, regulatory authorities also we have to develop some technologies so to produce the futuristic foods. Just I'm creating this awareness so that like your neighbors in your village, you can keep the awareness about this fortified food, and we come out with some technologies instead of this only now whatever that existing are the oldest technologies. So we can we can do some research on the futuristic technologies, futuristic foods that can help to prevent the malnutrition and micronutrient deficiencies. So that is my motto for selecting this topic. So this is the best thing for the future trends of food fortification. So that is the micronutrient sachets. Like how we'll get the sachet in the noodle packet. So here also the same sachet that contains vitamin A, C, folic acid, iron, and zinc. So this sachet can be supplied to the mother or a teacher. So whenever the students are having food, this sachet can be mixed in that food so that they will have sufficient micronutrients and vitamins. So instead of checking the food and everything, staple food and everything, simply we can carry this micronutrient sachets wherever we go. We can mix with the school food, the school children eating food, and community level also you can supply these sachets. So we can ask the hammer mills to supply these sachets to the people. With that, we can prevent this micronutrient deficiencies. So next decade of food fortification is that nowadays, now we are getting this mineral water containing some vitamins and minerals, tea, wines and beer. So double fortification, iodine plus iron. Seasonings also we have, probiotics we have breakfast bars are available. But the thing is, we have to come with the technology so that the cost of the product can reduce and it can be reachable to the all the people. Confectionaries, techno foods, and everything. So these are the next decade of food fortification. So we are discussing about this food fortification, and I said IIM is an intergovernmental institutions for the use of microalgae spirulina against malnutrition. Like here in our meeting, we have Dr. O.N. Tiwari. I can call him as father of microalgae spirulina. With his permission, I'll share little information about this spirulina also. This is the thing, like spirulina we can use to combat the malnutrition. It is a blue-green algae. It can be easily cultivated in our weather conditions in the Telangana and AP region. So it is derived from the Latin word helix spiral, especially two species of spinobacteria, Arthospira plantaensis and Arthospira mexicana. So like it is the food from God, you can say. It contains largest amount of proteins. It contains 60 to 75% of proteins, and it has vitamins, natural pigments, minerals, and everything. You name one vitamin or anything, it has. And the thing is, you name any diseases, it can prevent. That much capability is there for the spirulina, and production cost is also very less. But the thing is, because of lack of awareness on the spirulina usage, people are not opting. If you can able to use daily 1 gram of spirulina, I'm sure that you will not get any type of diseases in the future. That much capability is there, that much protein content, carbohydrate, minerals are there. But only people are opting for this vitamin supplements, they are opting. So this is the natural food, we can have it. This is the fortification. This government is also implementing that. Yeah, it is adding spirulina into a candy. So green candy, green tongue. Yeah, because it is available in the blue-green algae. The color is like little green color. And they are adding to the atta. So we'll get the green chapati. So only the thing is acceptance. People has to accept to get this micronutrient deficiencies. You can see the micronutritional value of spirulina. 1 gram of spirulina is equivalent to C. 300 grams of chicken, you can imagine. 10 grams grapes. This is C. How much healthy this spirulina is. And you say nowadays people are running for the alkaline food. The spirulina itself is an alkaline food. As per the Dr. Wagner, every day in our meal should have 20% acidic and 80% alkaline food. So if we adopt spirulina in our daily food, so our health will be good. So USFDA recognized spirulina as the excellent nutritional supplement. WHO commented that is the high quality food. It rich in iron and protein. It is safe to consume. So USA has done 5 years of toxicology study and USA and found it is completely non-toxic. It is the non-mucus forming and non-acid forming protein. So you can imagine 1 gram of spirulina is equivalent to 1 kg of assorted vegetables and fruits. You know what is the cost of 1 gram? 1 gram of spirulina cost around 1 rupee. So if you invest 1 rupee, you will get the micronutrients of 1 kg. So this is as per NASA. Even the people. So it is the next to the mother's milk because we are getting from the God this one. So it contains gamma linolic acid. This is the gamma linolic acid that is helpful for our regulate the hormone system for the immunity boosting. So after mother's milk, that is available only in the spirulina. So these are the cultivation methods we can simply cultivate. Cultivate at your home also for your purpose, for your eating purpose. So along with the spirulina, there is one thing is there moringa. Moringa, like you can see, moringa is available at your doorstep also. So you do not know the values of moringa. It has every activity as antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, every activity is there, and it is also good amount of proteins and micronutrients. So this the food that can be fortified with the spirulina and moringa can protect us from this micronutrient deficiencies and the malnutrition. Yes, save life, save women, and you can eradicate the malnutrition. Thank you.
Ma'am?
Yeah, yes, ma'am. I'm done.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thanks for your elaborated session, ma'am.
Yeah, can I stop the sharing?
Yes, ma'am, you can stop sharing. Any queries from the participants?
Madam, I have one small doubt, ma'am.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Ma'am, thank you, ma'am, for a very nice and in-depth explanation about how can we go about with fortification of many food materials. I really enjoyed the session.
Thank you, sir.
And you covered about the all major food staple food like rice, flour, and oil. So I had one doubt, ma'am. Actually, we have thousands of varieties of rice,
Yes, sir.
and still it is like a maze that which one is more good or nutrition wise, and more than nutrition, which one is very good in the glycemic index wise. I have a doubt, ma'am. Long time I have, but I didn't get a proper solution from any source. Actually, I have doubt between major comparison between raw rice. In some states, we use all the people will be depending only on raw rice as the staple food, and in some states like Tamil Nadu, people are dependent on rice like parboiled or boiled rice. We call boiled rice, boiled puni rice we call, and in states like Andhra Pradesh, we use raw rice. So how does it differ, or how does it impact our health in the long run? Because here, from culturally, traditionally, we are using in Tamil Nadu they are using boiled rice, but in Andhra Pradesh, long time we are using only raw
Polished
rice.
rice. We can say polished rice. We are
Polished
using
rice.
polished
Yeah,
rice.
we have so many varieties like the BPT, Karnool, HMT rice, so many. And in all the shops, only raw rice is only available. They are totally hidden or unaware about the parboiled or boiled rice. So what is the difference between that? And the continuation question to that, the same question is, how can we compare this with one peculiar rice they use called matta rice in Kerala, that is brown, short grain brown rice, which is cultivated in Alapura or those area. And how can we compare all these three rices with basmati, which is a long grain rice, which we widely use for making pulao or biryani? So can you address this doubt?
Sure, sure. Thank you very much, sir. So just I'll say about the basmati rice, sir. So we are not the major producers of basmati rice, sir. So rice in the production, because why this so many variants has come because of the geographical region. So when you go to the Bombay, they in the north region, they are the producers of basmati rice. It is not possible to produce this rice, HMT rice, whatever the rice we are using in the Telangana, Andhra, that is not possible. So as per the geographical region, they are coming with the rice. So they keep it different names for that. And the thing is, already I discussed, sir, para-boiled rice, right? Which you said like Tamil Nadu, most of the people are using this para-boiled rice. Actually, that is very good thing, sir. Because I discussed in the para-boiling what happens, the vitamins that are present in the outer grain that will get migrated to the endosperm, that will go inside when you go for the boiling. So the micronutrient content will get increases. Vitamins and the micronutrient content will get increases in the para-boiled rice compared to the other rice. So whatever we are using the rice, that is the polished rice, because we are taking the rice is having some layers. So the layers is nothing but the bran, right? The bran, each bran contains little amount of vitamins and minerals. Just simply we are removing that brans, and inside the fiber we are eating that contains less, that contains more amount of carbohydrates and proteins, that doesn't contain any vitamins. So that is the thing, sir. Like for our tasty purpose only, just we are eating the polished rice. The polished rice also we are washing it off. Like if anything left vitamins also, it will get washed off with 1 or 2 washings. And simply just you are eating the fiber that doesn't contain any vitamins and minerals. So the people will go. The people will go for the raw rice. Raw rice is it doesn't contain any polishings, and the outer layers, only 1 or 2 layers are removed. The other layers will be there, so that it becomes very hard compared to the polished rice, and the color is also little brown color that contains more amount of vitamins, minerals, sir, compared to the polished rice. I can say that polished rice is waste of eating, sir. Only to fill our stomach, we are eating that polished rice. And the thing is, like when you go for the fortification process, sir, like fortification, we are adding some micronutrients. So we cannot say that I'll go for the fortification of basmati rice in the Andhra region. Because here Andhra region, basmati rice cost is very high. I cannot go for it. Like based on the availability of rice, whatever the rice here available, that rice we can select. So without going for much polishing, we can select.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. That was so informative.
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Hello, ma'am.
Participants, any other doubts?
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful wonderful explanation. Ma'am, we do have few more questions.
Yeah, please.
May I read it out to them?
Yeah, please.
The first question is from Parmeshwari. Madam, will keto diet provide all the basic micronutrients?
No, ma'am. Actually, there is some problem with the keto diet. Like people are running after the keto diet for few years, but no one is using this keto diet, ma'am. Keto diet will not provide all the micronutrients.
Okay, ma'am.
Like it is not safe also. Like as per that, nowadays saying that instead of going for the keto diet and everything, so they are saying for the conventional food, take the micronutrients. Conventional food to the micronutrient mix they are asking to stay.
Ma'am, there is a next question from Miss Sai Praniti. Madam, are the fortified salts good or just iodide salts are enough?
Iodized salt is a fortified salt. Like to the normal salt, we are adding iodine as a mineral. So along with the iodine, our next generation will get iron also. Iodized salt is very good, because otherwise most of the people are getting iodine deficiency. But like sometimes, like we are not supposed to restrict only iodized salt. Raw salt also we have to use. We have to use it in a combination that will be more useful. Like especially we can say hypothyroidism is there. Hypothyroidism patients are supposed to use the iodized salt. Because of this iron deficiency only, in India, you can observe most of the people are affecting with this thyroidism, hypothyroidism. But like you have to use it in the combination, like you are not supposed to strictly depending on the iodine salt. For the few curries or few, you can use this normal salt, raw salt.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, it's a new knowledge for us that the salts are now iron fortified also. So thank you once again. Ma'am, next we have a question from Mr. Harish. Madam, the powder provided by Anganwadis, are they fortified?
Yes. The government intention is that fortification only, the powder. Like they'll give some balamrut also for the kids. For the newly born babies, they give the one sachet is called as the balamrut that contains some micronutrients. But the people are not taking it properly. That is the main concern. They do not know the importance of that food.
Yeah, ma'am. I think you're correct. The reach of these powders are usually government products are not valued much.
Because
So,
like
yes,
they are not valued much because that the quality is less compared to that corporate products or anything. That is the one thing. But those people are not getting food at all. But why don't they take this food and use it properly?
True, ma'am. True, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, also there is another question by Dr. Jyoti. Ma'am, can we include fortified rice? Is there any such rice available in the market?
Yeah, actually, so much research was going on for the golden rice also. Nutri rice is the label. Nutri rice is available in the market. But the thing is, like, the cost of the product is very high because like rice is easily available in Telangana and Andhra region. That rice we need to go for the powder. To that powder, we are adding some premix and conditioning, and we are getting that nutri rice. Why should we go for all this? So instead of that, why don't you use the nutrient sachet that contains micronutrients? Otherwise, why don't you use that nutrient sachet to the floor? You can mix it to the floor. That will be more better than go for this nutri rice. So when we go for this process conditioning and everything, the cost of that product is increasing. Like now, if we get the 40 rupees per kg rice, with that we'll get 70 rupees per kg. So that is not affordable and like waste of time also. But only few countries like China and Philippines, they are using this hot extrusion technology for the nutri rice.
Thank you, ma'am. And we have another question from Ms. Shakti Shobna K. Can we opt for sprouts instead of fortified food? Will it provide all the micronutrients?
No. Like you can, like no food that can provide all the micronutrients. Sprouts are rich of, like when it regenerates, it contains vitamin B and it is rich of proteins. But other micronutrients cannot be, iron cannot be supplied by the sprouts. Sprout, like that is the reason because a dietary diversity of food we need to take. Sprouts are good in terms of proteins and vitamin B. In this regeneration, it will get the vitamin B and it contains more amount of proteins. It doesn't contain any iron or other things. Like we have to take the protein rich food so that like our tummy will be filled. So you will not get hunger attacks, frequent hunger attacks. So that like you will not go for the junk food. That is the reason we ask to take the more protein food. And that is also good when you grow up, you should go for the more protein food. That is the reason people go for this sprouts.
Yeah, ma'am. Ma'am, the next question is actually from me, ma'am. In Kerala, there is a brown rice. In Andhra is very famous for rice also, and also Tamil Nadu, we do get rice. So, which would be the better one comparatively, like the native form, not the fortified one, but the native one that contains most of the micronutrients?
Yeah, brown rice is the most of the micronutrients. Like the same, this for the first question I said, brown rice contains most of the micronutrients. Like the micronutrients also again based on your geographical region. What is your soil content? What is the fertility of soil? It also depends, one of the factors that also affects. And brown rice has more nutrient content because the bran contains more amount of vitamins and minerals. Because of that reason, brown rice we can opt. But only the thing is like digestion problem, because the bran is not removed, it will not get digested easily.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Nazneen Bobby, ma'am.
Thank you, Vanita, ma'am.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
you.
for this
Thank you, ma'am.
opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes, ma'am. It's really our pleasure to have you on this platform, ma'am. So if there are any queries from the participants, please post your queries in the mail so that we will forward to all the speakers. If you need any mail ID or the mobile numbers, any contact details, please let us know. We can share you through our FDP mail.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. It's a privilege to hear your expertise and insights, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. We'll take a few minutes break. We'll join the session by 12 o'clock sharp.
Dear participants, we have the valedictory session follows after this session. So sharp, we will start within 15 minutes. Kindly join us. Please stay with us.
Hello. ఇది కిరణ్ గారా? బ్లా బ్లా నేను ఉప్పల్ నుండి. మేడం